Hey, good morning. I'm Gerry Manzi. I'm here with my friend Joe Tosco.
Oh, yeah.
World famous realtor. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Doing good.
We're going to talk about the pros and cons of buying a home today. Is it the right time to buy? What do you think, Joe?
I mean, listen, if you're going to buy real estate, now is a good time to buy, right? The market's changing. I'm sure you're hearing some crazy news out there, but if it's national, yeah, there's all this doom and gloom. But if you're buying in Montgomery, Chester County, Delaware County, things aren't what they say online, right? So, there's still less inventory than we need. There's more buyers than homes for sale, right? So again, I don't want to call it a buyer's market, but it's changed where, Gerry, the deals we were putting together before, people with 25, 30, 50,000 over asking, waiving all inspections. Like, that's not something that you need to do now. I mean, you still have to give them a fair price, right? But you can negotiate like an appraisal contingency. I would like to do inspections, right? If something comes back on your inspection, you can actually ask for repair. Now, I'm not saying go crazy on little things, but if something's major wrong, you can ask for that repair. Nobody's going to say anything now.
So it's not a buyer's market, like you say, but it's getting closer to normal.
It's getting closer to normal. Still not a buyer's market from, who knows, 10 years ago when the buyer was in control of everything. But no, absolutely, it's definitely a good time.
More fair.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Good. What are some of the advantages today that buyers are running into, or they're able to do or get? Is it price? Is it?
I mean, it's kind of all of the above. So depending upon where the asking price is, you can get a little bit of a better deal. You could ask for seller's assist, right? Which was, you would just get laughed out of the room if you were asking for seller's assist before.
Yeah.
Right, it wasn't even available. There's, again, negotiating the repairs, which is important. Waiving an appraisal. Like all these things that could cause problems down the road. But even like a home inspection, you're paying over asking for a home and you didn't even know what you were getting.
Yeah.
Right.
Scary.
So now that people are looking at, I'm paying, again, we'll talk about rates a little bit more for a rate, but you were buying a home blind. Like, there's horror stories where people bought these homes and now they're like, oh my God, the basement always floods. This always happens. That, so was it a great purchase?
And they paid,
top dollar. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They paid top dollar.
It's scary.
And then got into a situation where, like, okay, now maybe in their mortgage payment, they don't have the extra, money in their mortgage payment built in, but now they're hiring contractors to repair, situations that they got into when they bought the house. So, it really is a good time, I feel, to buy, for sure.
Any negatives today?
Well, the negative is the mortgage person.
I don't like how you pointed at me.
So, no, but the negative is obviously the rates are higher. Nobody's going to say that they're not. They're not in the low, 3.5, 4, 4.5. Rates are up.
They definitely are. But they're really, historically speaking, they're probably, if you look at a 20-year rolling average, pretty close to where the average is.
I agree.
Although most experts agree that things are probably artificially inflated the wrong direction, where it was artificially inflated low or deflated, I guess, by the Fed, buying so many mortgage-backed securities.
Right.
It pumped rates lower than they would have been organically. Now things are oversold more than they should be, and rates probably should be in the fives, but based upon things, they're not at the moment. So.
Right. So what are you, in your industry, specifically, what are you doing to counteract that?
Well, perfect segue from what you said with now asking for seller assist.
Right.
It's an old school concept. You and I are old guys. We probably remember it from back in the day.
Hey, speak for yourself.
But a 2-1 buy down.
Right.
It's an oldie but a goodie, but it's back now. It's a seller finance program, seller paid.
Right.
And it basically means it's the first 2 years. So if an interest rate is, let's say it's in the low sixes today, so let's say 6 3/8. Mm-hmm. The first year they're paying based upon a 2% of discount. So 2% lower, so say 4.375. And in the second year, they're paying at a 1% discount. So 5.375. The required payment is still the full payment, but they're paying at the lower amount. And if you take the monthly payment savings in the first year, let's just pretend it's $500 a month, going from 6 3/8 to 4 3/8. $500 a month times 12 months is $6,000 a year.
Right.
In the second year, let's just say it's $250 a month.
Sure.
So it's $3,000. So $6,000 first year savings, $3,000 second year savings, $9,000 is the cost for a buy down, and you request a seller assist for $9,000.
Right.
That $9,000 of the seller's money is held in an escrow account. So every month you're making that payment $500 per month lower, and the other $500 is being funded from the seller's escrow.
From the seller.
Correct. People ask all the time though, like, what if I refinance? What if I may sell my home prior to the first 2 years? Whatever balance is left. So let's say a year from now, it makes sense to refinance. And there's $3,000 sitting in that escrow account. Their mortgage amount, their principal balance is reduced by that amount of money. So they're not losing anything.
Right. I mean, it sounds like a good program for sure.
It absolutely is. And it's something that we haven't really been able to utilize the last couple of years because, like you said, seller assist wasn't even a conversation. So now it certainly is. And it's a way to say, all right, my payment could be significantly lower.
Right.
That's kind of long and short of it. It's a great way to go.
Okay. Well, you mentioned something else earlier on.
Fannie Mae recently eliminated all pricing adjustments for first-time buyers. That means anyone who's hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. Excuse me. If they hit 80% of the median income, which in our area is roughly $80,000. So $80,000 of income and below, there are no price adjusters. What does that mean? It means the credit score. If you're over a 620, you're fine to qualify with as little as 3% down. A 625 credit score with 3% down 2 weeks ago, rate would have been off the chart high because there's a premium for that credit score. If you hit the income requirements and you meet it, there's no price adjusters. So you'll be the same as someone who has an 800 credit score putting 3% down. It's a wonderful way to go. We also have another tool that one of our investors allows for up to 100% of the median income, which is around $105,000. So again, $105,000 first time and below as far as income. First time buyer, haven't bought in the last 3 years, no pricing adjustments. That's a game changer. I'd say it's probably about 0.5% in interest rate.
Right.
Significant. So there's some good things out there. It's not all bad news.
And we've been using Gerry a long time, and the good news is, look, he's going to pre-qualify you based on what your specific situation is. So if you're in a better position with a 2-1 buy down, you'll go that way. If you're in better shape with the other, I don't know if it's a program necessarily where you're going that way. I mean, that's even better. So it all depends on where you are specifically.
When we hear the facts, I always say that we're good at spending other people's money. Like I suggest to them what I would suggest if it were for me, based on my 24 years of doing this.
Right.
So you guys don't need to worry about knowing all of the facts. You present the facts to us, and we come back to you with really what the most attractive financial options are for you.
Right.
So
Cool.
that's it.
Well, listen, that was it. I mean, it's the pros and cons of buying in today's market. Our special host, Gerry Manzi's here.
We call it Good Looking and Better Looking. That's the name of our show.
Yeah, that's what it goes. So again, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And I look forward to doing more videos for sure.
Same here. Have a great one, guys.
Take
Thanks.
care.